What is going on, guys? It's Mekabre. We're back with yet another Destiny 2 video, and today's video is going to be covering a few things that you need to be doing right now, or at least before the end of this season. There'll be a full guide put up here eventually. We're working on it slowly but surely. I'm compiling a list of stuff that I'd like to see what Guardian games entails before I do so. But today's video is some things that, in my opinion, take a little longer than they probably need to, and are some things that I'm starting to do right now because of how long they take. So, if you're excited and ready for season 14 here, 14, yes, season 14, um, stick around to the end of this video. Before we start talking about the stuff that I think you need to get done, just a reminder that we are trying to hit the sub goal of 50 by the end of the month here. If we do so, maybe some rewards are on their way, possibly a face camera, possibly streaming on Twitch, possibly streaming more often, and a bunch of other fun stuff, maybe a whole new video series. If you're excited for that, sub down below if you're not already, and if you are, find some of your friends that play and bring them in here and get them subbed to me. Thank you very much. Now, let's dive into what I'm talking about here in terms of some stuff in D2 that you need to be working on right now, and maybe it's some stuff that you've been working on throughout the season. Maybe it's stuff that you do anyways and you've never given it a second thought. But if you're anything like me, well, let's start with shaders. We like to collect stuff in D2, and a lot of people, I think that's why they play the game. It's a collection-based game, and therefore, it's very, very easy to get sidetracked and just put stuff into the vault, or just hang on to stuff. One exception to this is that shaders do not end up in the vault. Well, they can, but they probably don't belong in there. They're just going to waste your space. So, where are shaders? Well, shaders can be found in your inventory on each character. It's the same for all of your characters, but there is only a certain amount of shaders that you can carry with infinite amounts in each stack, as far as I know. I've never gotten a high enough stack to figure that out, and I don't intend to trying to. So, what do you need to do, and why am I bringing this up? Well, you see, here's the deal. Shaders are kind of disappearing, not in their entirety, but they're disappearing in terms of being a resource material. So, right now, if you go into your inventory, you delete a shader, there's a possibility it's going to drop Glimmer for you, there's a possibility it's going to drop Legendary Shards, and there's a possibility that it will actually drop both. Well, that's good news for you because, let me be honest, you're probably at lower resources than you would like to be. And even if you're not, it can never hurt to have too many legendary shards. So what are some things that you can turn around to do in order to benefit from these shaders? Well, you see, shaders, like I said, are disappearing in a way. Not that they're going to be gone forever, but they will no longer be found in your inventory, and as long as you have unlocked said shader, you'll be able to use said shader. And there's not a set amount that you would have to carry. It's just infinite over and over and over. So what should you be doing? Well, you need to be dismantling said shaders, whether it's from your inventory, sitting there and taking the time to delete that stack of 400 that you put off every other season beforehand, even though you don't use it because the shader looks like absolute trash, but yet it's 400. So why are you going to take the time to actually do that? It's not me. I swear. If it's just me, I'm gonna lose it. Let me know in the comment section down below if you're someone like me who has a stack of 400 that they have yet to dismantle because they just don't want to take the time to do it. But go into your inventory and you can start working on some of the smaller ones there. Highly recommend doing that. However, if you do not want to take the time, go to Master Rahul. Each day, Master Rahul has a set of shaders that you can recycle. You recycle 5 at a time. In return, you receive a little bit of legendary shards and some glimmer. So go ahead and do that. It significantly cuts the time down in order to dismantle your shaders, but I highly recommend working on this now so that way you don't forget by the end of the season. Don't worry, this will be in the guide for season 14 as well. The next thing that I highly recommend that you're working on right now, and this one I've touched on in a previous video, get the god rolls of the seasonal weapons. Not that they're going to completely disappear, but it is going to be a little more difficult, I believe, in order to get the god rolls that you would like. So start working on them now, so that way you have them going into next season, and future seasons beyond that. I think you'll be able to still use the Prismatic Recaster in order to work on Season 13 weapons and getting those god rolls, but why would you waste your time on getting a Season 13 god roll when the Season 14 weapons might even be like way better? Just have a god roll of each in order to be prepared. This can be done rather easily and through the help of Battlegrounds activity found under the Strike playlist in the director. Now, There's one last thing I want to touch on, and this last thing is very similar to the shaders, and honestly isn't something that I'm going to be doing yet because I don't have enough to argue doing so, but a lot of other people do. I highly recommend that you make your way over onto the tower, you walk out to Zavala, and you start turning in your tokens, the Vanguard tokens. Yes, that's right. Vanguard tokens are the last set of tokens besides Iron Banner and Trials, which, as far as we know, are not going anywhere anytime soon. But you need to get rid of your Vanguard tokens. They will be gone at the start of Season 14, as far as we know. That's what we've been told in previous TWABs. Just be cautious of that. Work towards it so that way you don't have to do a bunch of them last minute. I know myself, well, I only have like 2,500. It's really not going to be that bad. And there will be a video up on that at some point, but just keep that in mind and start turning them in now. Remember that if you do any strikes before whenever you turn them in and at the end of the season, you should probably go back in that last night of the season, or perhaps, maybe the weekend before, and turn in the few that you've got. And even if it's a couple hundred, because some of the loot that comes from these could actually be relatively useful. And even if you don't use the loot or the armor is really bad roll, don't worry, because you can turn around and dismantle that then for more legendary shards and glimmer. Alright guys, that's it for this video. And like I said, a super short one, super right to the point. I hope you guys enjoyed. These are just a few things that I think people need to start thinking about. Don't worry, Saturday's video will go a little more in depth, maybe even put together a full guide. I'm not yet sure because I want to see what Guardian Games has yet to hold. At the time of this video, it's only the 13th of April right now. We still have a couple updates until Guardian Games, a couple weeks till Guardian Games, I mean. And then Guardian Games lasts for quite a while. May 11th is the start of the new season, so I'm very excited and definitely trying to push on working stuff and getting ready for it, as is the endless goal of Destiny. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this and find it helpful and informative. If you did, leave a like and a comment down below. And with that, I have nothing else to say except for get back to grinding, your crazy guardians.